What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new series. I can probably already guess what you're thinking about this scenario. This idea has been done a lot of times. It's basically a rite of passage for what if people to do this scenario, or something similar, but I know that. Just like with other things I've done in the past, such as the time chamber one, if I hold off on doing a scenario for a while, that means I'm trying to do it in my own way. I'm trying to find a way to make it more interesting, make it more unique. Otherwise, it wouldn't be something that I'd want to do. And here, I kind of held off on it because, well, everyone's done it. I've actually done one with Goten before. What if Goten trained like Goku? But this one's not going to simply be just Gohan gets really powerful and one-shots everybody. No, I know that wouldn't be interesting, not just for you guys, but also for me. But I think I've come up with a pretty good way to make this story go. Of course, I can't give too much away right now, but you'll see as the series goes on. And that's if it does continue. If you're interested in seeing more parts, be sure to drop a like. We'll set a like goal of 5,000 likes. Anyways, let's begin discussing what would happen if Gohan trained like Goku. The wording is pretty intentional there. This isn't going to be what if Gohan had the exact same mindset as Goku, and it's not going to be Gohan being a completely different character. We're only changing his motivation here. You'll see going forward that this will alter events significantly, even though we're only changing this one little aspect. Gohan is still Gohan. Everything about his personality will remain the same. Hell, even Chi-Chi's still going to be there trying to influence Gohan. I don't want to change Gohan's character here. This is the same Gohan, except this time, he loves training and loves growing stronger as much as Goku does. It's a pretty minute change with pretty big consequences. Of course, this starts before the Saiyan saga, in that time skip after the 23rd World Tournament. Gohan's obviously pretty young right now, but growing up, while he does actually have the goal of being a scholar too, he also sees how great of a fighter his father is. Goku does train from time to time, and Gohan even tries to join him from time to time too. Now it's a little strange because Goku doesn't necessarily know how to train him. Gohan's so young and he has no practice, and honestly he's pretty fragile too. At least Goku assumes so. He might need to wait a bit longer to train. So we can't really have him do too much training here. Maybe at best he'll get a few months of light training with Goku, because right now there's no reason to intensely train him. And even during this light training, Goku notices some crazy bursts in power with Gohan. It's few and far in between, but it's there and it's very noticeable. And it makes Goku curious, how truly powerful could Gohan be? And he decides to consult someone. He goes to Roshi, going a few months earlier than normal. Now, this isn't their normal reunion, he's just actually going to visit Roshi, seeing what he thinks. And this is good too because he gets to catch up with Roshi and Krillin as well. So they do catch up for a bit. And it's a pretty nice meeting. Obviously they're surprised that Goku has a kid, and even more surprised that he's already training. Well, definitely sounds like how Goku would raise a kid. This leads to Gohan actually being trained a bit by Roshi, with Goku also being there too. Roshi's the one who suggested. Sure, he could train Gohan, but it might be good if Goku's here too. He knows Gohan best, and he could also grow a bit here too. Plus, Krillin really needs someone new to train with too. Goku has to convince Chi-Chi. It really takes a lot of convincing. But eventually, they're able to make it work. Goku, Gohan, and Krillin are all basically training together under Roshi. Roshi's glad to see how strong all of his students have grown, and he even has a new one, which is surprising to him. There already might be another generation of students coming around. So, Gohan's officially a student of the Turtle School, and he learns a lot from this. Two masters, Goku and Roshi. There's also a reunion planned at some point, aka everyone who's already here, and then Bulma. This is initially when Raditz is supposed to arrive, and he does arrive at the same time. His encounter with Piccolo goes the exact same, eventually leading him to Kame House. There, his scouter picks up on 3 pretty high powers, and he crashes the reunion. Goku learns of his origin from Raditz, and Raditz basically lays out his whole plan here. Kakarot should join him, and he wants Kakarot to show his loyalty too. Slaughter 100 people. Obviously they're just not going to sit by and take this. He attacks Krillin though, and attempts to kidnap Gohan too. I say he attempts to kidnap Gohan because it does not go the same that it did normally. Now of course Gohan is still terrified by this, but Raditz attacks Goku and then ascends up into the air with Gohan, and this kind of pisses Gohan off. Inadvertently, he causes a huge burst of power from Gohan. While holding on to Gohan, Gohan then suddenly kicks Raditz in the arm, breaking it. He frees himself and starts punching Raditz rapidly, and without even realizing it, he then launches a huge burst of ki, flinging Raditz far away across the water. Gohan triumphantly lands back on the island, looking confident, and then his face turns to bewilderment. He kinda has no clue what just happened, and no one else really does either. Goku weakly congratulates him. Good going. No one else really knows what to say. Raditz showing up was weird enough and scary enough, and then Gohan just beat him up without even realizing it. Piccolo's been watching the whole thing too, and he really can't believe what he's witnessing. Roshi and Krillin help Goku up. Goku says Gohan definitely dealt a lot of damage to him, but Raditz is still out there. He could sense it. Far away across the water, they then see a large trail of mist, coming right towards them, getting closer and closer. Raditz launches towards the island, flying back over with his broken arm in his side and his other arm outstretched, illuminated by some energy. Crap, they have to do something really quick. Roshi tells everyone to get together in a line. He'll help out too. He beefs up into his max power, assuming this stands for a Kamehameha. Krillin and Goku follow, with Gohan nervously following, because he knows he could do this, but he's not sure how this will go. They at least have to try though. Raditz launches his blast as he gets closer to the island, and together, the Turtle School, or at least most of it, launches a simultaneous Kamehameha. The two beams connect, but Raditz keeps charging forward and plows right through the Kamehameha. The blasts cancel each other out, and Raditz made it back to the island. He turns back to the others and smirks. That kid's power is gone. He doesn't know where that came from, but clearly he doesn't have the same power he had moments ago. He'll finish them off here, but Goku tells Raditz they need to fight somewhere else. Raditz says he could fight where he pleases, but Goku tries to make it more enticing just to convince him. They could have a much better fight if they go somewhere that's more open, right? Fine. He reluctantly agrees. Goku gets on Nimbus with Gohan, realizing they don't really have a choice. And Krillin's terrified, but he's gonna go along too. Goku and Gohan depart with Raditz following alongside. And then Krillin realizes he has no way of following them. Same for Roshi. But then Piccolo steps out. Really? They still can't fly? Piccolo was here the whole time? They didn't even realize. He asks Krillin if he's coming along, and Krillin nods. So Piccolo grabs onto Krillin, dragging him behind as they fly along. Well, looks like Roshi's sitting this out. They arrive in a wasteland. Goku and Gohan land with Raditz following close behind. And not too long after, Piccolo arrives with Krillin. Goku did sense Piccolo's power flare up, not even realizing he was there the whole time. Piccolo says don't question. As much as he hates the idea, he's here to team up with them and fight alongside them. And he looks to Goku. They need Gohan to unleash that power again. He doesn't know where that came from, but if Gohan unleashes that again, they could definitely win here. He already damaged Raditz a good amount. He could also definitely help land the finishing blow. But just in case, he also has another idea in mind. One surefire way to kill Raditz. He stays back, getting ready to charge up an attack, with Goku, Krillin, and Gohan getting ready to fight. Now here, as you could probably expect, Goku's a little bit stronger than normal. Not significantly stronger to the point where he could easily beat Raditz, but the gap between him and Piccolo is wider. He has been doing some more semi-serious training. Same goes for Krillin because now he had a better training partner with Goku being there. Gohan's obviously got way more control than normal, although he's not too sure about that full power. Raditz is outnumbered, and he's down in honor. He has an idea of how to even the playing field. He could turn into a great ape. That'll make sure he wins here. But he notices Gohan also has a tail, and that could definitely be an issue. That kid was strong before, and even if he doesn't know how to control its power, if he becomes a great ape, he really won't know how to control that power, and he'll probably have way more than Raditz. That would be a really risky maneuver to transform. He'll save it just in case. But while he's thinking about how to use his power as a great ape, the other three have a new plan. They're gonna go for Raditz's tail. That's a weak point. If one of them can grab onto it, it'll leave him opening for an attack. Either from Gohan unleashing his rage, or from Piccolo using his full power. A battle ensues. And it's a lot closer this time because Raditz has already been injured by Gohan. And he's fighting more people with more power. He still does overpower them collectively, but still, it's a lot closer now. He says this injury is nothing. He'll get ahead of them. Kakarot's gonna regret turning against his brother. They're able to hold him off just long enough. At some point, Piccolo's attack is fully charged, and Goku reaches for Raditz's tail, grabbing onto it and stunning him. But just like normal, Raditz is gonna try to smooth talk Goku out of it. It's the only way he could probably break free. And also just like normal, this does end up working, and Goku reluctantly lets go. He prepares to attack Goku right after, not even realizing Piccolo's charge and attack launch right towards him. But before he could even hit Goku, he hears that kid again yelling out to leave Goku alone. His hybrid nephew again. His power spikes dramatically. Raditz almost dodges Piccolo's attack. But right before it hits, Gohan launches an attack of his own, knocking him right into Piccolo's beam. It's a direct hit, and the beam pierces right through Raditz, with Goku barely jumping out of the way too. Piccolo has a sigh of relief. What a good stroke of luck. And Gohan's kind of mortified after calming down, seeing what's there right in front of him. It's his alien uncle that just tried to kill him, bleeding out on the ground partially because of him. Pretty traumatizing stuff. And even though Raditz is defeated, he triumphantly warns them. In a year's time, 2 more Saiyans will arrive. Although this time, Vegeta and Nappa have no idea about the Dragon Balls. But they still have a reason for coming. There's a hybrid Saiyan here, who apparently is pretty powerful, and they saw a lot more of that than they did normally. This kid might actually be really strong. He might be a Super Saiyan. They're not sure. Plus, Kakarot is there, but they don't really care too much about him anymore. They're mainly interested in that possible Super Saiyan. Raditz dies, and the group now has to think of what to do. Well, if more Saiyans are going to arrive, they definitely need to prepare. Thankfully, they have a year. And Piccolo says they were too close for comfort, so imagine next time they have to deal with 2 of them, both of whom are stronger than Raditz, his superiors actually. He says he'll whip Gohan into shape. Clearly he knows how to control some of his power, but only a small fraction of it. He needs to tap into that rage, that huge reserve of power that he has beneath it. Goku clearly wasn't training him seriously enough. But Goku says Gohan's pretty young. They weren't training seriously. They didn't expect this big threat to come by soon. Besides, he's already made some great progress. Sure, Goku doesn't really doubt Piccolo's training methods. He knows Piccolo's a really powerful and smart guy. But if anything, he's gonna train his own son, or at least get some assistance from Roshi. With Goku alive, there's no need for Piccolo to kidnap Gohan. He wouldn't even attempt it because Goku's there. Fine, Piccolo's gonna go off on his own, but he expects the others to take this training seriously. And Krillin turns to Goku. Well, they can get Yamcha and Tenshinhan too. They could definitely help out here. Goku looks at Gohan to reassure him. He says he'll be okay. He did a great job back there already. And even though these Saiyans sound scary, he knows Gohan will probably be able to help defeat them. He was the key to victory here. He could definitely be the key to victory there as well. And Gohan still is nervous. Even if Goku's alive and is going to be the one to help train him, I mean, still, look at what just happened and what's about to happen. He's terrified. But Goku's confident they could win. Over this time, the training's going to be a lot different. Piccolo's on his own, which is kind of a good thing because he's not too focused on Gohan. Rather than focus on making Gohan stronger, he's purely focused on making himself stronger. The humans of course train with Kami like normal. And as for Goku and Gohan, they spend some time at Kami House for a bit, with Goku eventually going up to Kami's lookout on his own, saying that Gohan could join them there soon. Roshi thinks he could stay here a little bit longer, and Goku agrees. That's probably a good idea. Plus, before Gohan moves to more intense training, he's gonna stay here for a bit, learning more of the basics of martial arts and stuff, and trying to get a better control of his power. With him at Roshi's house, it's pretty easy for Chi-Chi to track him down though, eventually with her coming there, catching Goku, Gohan, and Roshi training. He's been gone for days, and she has no clue what's up. At least this time Goku's not dead, and Gohan's not kidnapped. She hears they're gonna train here, and she doesn't like that, but Goku explains what happened. And when she hears that someone tried to kidnap Gohan and then tried to kill him, yeah, whatever. She actually wants Gohan to beat them up. Now she's more angry at the Saiyans than anything. Also, surprised to find out that Goku's an alien, but whatever, that's besides the point. She reluctantly agrees to it, but tells Goku, after the Saiyans are defeated, she expects them back home. And she does want Gohan to study. He's not going to be training 24/7. He could use some of his downtime to get smarter. Well, they find that agreeable. So she leaves him be and tells him to kick some Saiyan ass. It gets the point across. Some point through the training, Gohan does go up to Kami. Roshi sees that Gohan has grown pretty quickly. He gives him the same training as Goku, and he rapidly adjusts to it. He would love to spend more time training Gohan, but their time's compressed. And they're not training for a tournament, they're training to stop a world-ending threat. So maybe it's good that he goes up to Kami a little bit sooner. Although, he's not going to get a free ticket up there. He still has to climb Korin's tower, just as a test of his strength. And surprisingly, him climbing Korin's tower isn't tough at all. He meets Korin, drinks the Ultra Divine Water too, and even impresses Korin too with his fighting abilities. He definitely is fit to go up to the lookout, and Korin's amazed. This is the youngest person to get up here. Well, he's definitely Goku's son, but still, he wishes him luck. This kid's showing even more promise than Goku did, which is definitely saying a lot. Gohan finally makes it up to the lookout, with everyone glad to see him there. They can't believe he made it through Roshi's training and Korin's training that quickly. And much to Gohan's surprise, Piccolo's there on the lookout too. Eventually he did come up here realizing that he'd probably grow faster if he trains with these people rather than training alone. And if anything, it's probably better if they learn some synergy instead of just fighting together randomly. Of course, he was very reluctant to come up here, and it's especially awkward with Kami, but still, this should really help them. So we could already see that Gohan has some pretty rapid growth. He had a head start, and unlike with Piccolo, Gohan was way more willing to train with Roshi, since he knew Roshi already, and he's already trained under Roshi, and he wasn't threatened by Roshi, and he wants to train in the first place. There's so many factors that work for it. Not only is he motivated to train here, but there's better circumstances for it as well. He has a pretty decent control on his power, and when he gets to the lookout, the humans look on with amazement. He's almost on their level. Yamcha's actually kind of bummed because it feels like Gohan's actually surpassed him already, and he'll probably surpass the other two pretty soon. Just as Goku expected, Gohan's probably going to surpass him someday too. Maybe relatively soon. But keep in mind, this is just the power that Gohan can control. He doesn't really have a grasp on his rage, but with the boost of power he gets when he gets angry, there's no telling how strong he could get. Goku already knows that, and Kami instantly recognizes it as well, discussing it with Goku. He doesn't know how, but his son, he has an immense amount of dormant potential, and Kami would be glad to train him too. It is kind of a bummer that Goku doesn't go to King Kai, but he's still training intensely. And even if he did go to King Kai, he probably wouldn't have that much time anyways. Making it across Snake Way would be bad enough, so he'd have even less time than he did normally. Plus, he'd be training while alive rather than dead, which, unbeknownst to him, would have some downsides. But in exchange for that, everyone else is immensely stronger. They've got an amazing training partner in Goku, and Gohan is Gohan. The year passes as the Saiyans get closer to Earth, and one day, their pods crash in some city. Vegeta and Nappa step off, ready to look for Kakarot and that hybrid Saiyan. This is where we'll leave off for now. What do you guys think about this part? And what do you think is going to happen with the series going forward, given everything that's been set up here? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe already, especially if you want to see more videos like this, and if you want the series to continue into a full story. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.